A very good morning, my dear students, and welcome to Digital World of Patania Public School. But in previous lecture, we learned internet terminology, and last terminology is uploading and downloading. What do you mean by the uploading and downloading? Now, today's topic is Internet Protocol. Topic name is Internet Protocol. So, what do you mean by the protocol? Protocol means set of rules. When you transfer information from one computer to another computer, when you transfer your large number of information from the large number of computer connected to each other, when you share your information from one network to another network, then you need some internet protocol, then you need some rules of the protocol internet. So that rules are called internet protocol. In most of the cases, this communication takes place between various client and server. All internet work on the client server model. So this communication, client server communication, take place between various clients and server. As computer connected to the internet may have different hardware configuration, run on different operating systems, or use different software, different networks, different network types, like some using the LAN, other use the MAN, other use the WAN. It is important to set some standard rules. So we need to set some standard rule so that communication between them is not affected and the data transfer take place smoothly. So in our world, different types of networks are there. Some clients use, for example, Windows 10, other use Windows 7, and other use Windows 8. So different operating system use and different hardware configuration use. But we need to set some standard, and these standard for communication, these standard for transferring information from one system to another system smoothly, if we set the standard, and these standard rules are called internet protocol. Protocol are the set of established rules that dictate how to format, how to transmit, receive data. So computer network devices connected to the internet from server to end client can communicate with each other. Who is the end client? We are the end clients who use the computer, who is the user of the internet. So all are the clients. So from server to end client can communicate with each other regardless of the difference in their underlying infrastructures. What do you mean by infrastructure? Different types of networks. Some use the bus topology, other use the star topology, and other one some use the LAN, other use the MAN. So these are the different infrastructure designs or standard. So some internet protocol are described here. Your first protocol is TCP IP protocol. Very important protocol. Better understand uh, with concentration, and everyone underline with me. TCP. What is the full form of TCP? TCP and IP both are the different protocol, but work together. They are work together, but both are the different protocols. TCP stand for Transmission Control Protocol and IP stand for Internet Protocol. Transmission Control Protocol means sending and receiving. Internet Protocol also transmit and receiving the data from client to server. Internet uses packet switching as the mode of data transfer. But internet uses packet switching as the mode of data transfer. So what is the packet switching? What do you mean by the packet switching? In packet switching, all the data, whole data to be transferred in broken down into small packets. So our data will be broke down in small packets, and divided each packet of up to 1500 characters each. In this technology, in this technique, you can say in this technique, the information is divided into small packet of up to 1500 character each. These packets are numbered serially. These packets are serial numbered serially. Very important, beta. Everyone note it down. Each packet, your data, when you transfer your data, so your data packet switching broken down your data in small packets, and in this technique, packet switching technique, the information is divided into small packet of up to 1500 character each. These packets are numbered serially 1 2 3 4 uh, 5 6 7 8, like this. And in one packet, how many characters? 1500 characters. 1500 characters in each packet. Okay. So these packets are transmitted from sending computer to the receiver computer through the internet. The packet, once they reach the receiver computer, are assembled back to get the data. So what is the packet switching? First we learn the packet switching, then we learn about the TCP and IP. Okay, so TCP and IP, packet switching. First we learn about the packet switching, then we learn about the TCP and IP. So what is the packet switching? See here, these are the packets. These are the packets, and in every packet, 1500 characters each have will be stored, and every packet have the name 1 2 3 4 like this. Okay, so computer mentioned in the IP address. Computer mentioned in the IP address. Passing information through convenient route. Passing through passing through convenient route. So first your data will be breaking information. So first your data will be broken out in small packet of the information. In small packet of the information. So these all are the packets of your information: one packet, two packet, and three packet. So IP address, name of the sender. IP address. IP address of the what? IP address of the sender. And here is the IP address of the receiver. Name of the receiver you can say, or you can say IP address of the receiver. Again resembling packets. See beta, here our data will be broken down in the small packets, and each packet consists 1500 characters. But here receiver again resemble all the packet. So for example, this is your packet 1. So IP address of the name of the sender, you can say. So sender send it here, and receiver accept it from the sender, and again resemble all the packet in a single way. Okay, so here all packet will be resembling, but here our packet will be broken down, our information will be broken down in different parts. Okay, so what is the role of TCP and IP here? Very important role, beta. TCP is responsible for breaking down the data into small big packets before they can be sent over the network. So who will be broken down? TCP. TCP is responsible for breaking down the data into small packet before they can be sent over the network. The two computers are sender and receiver. So we need the IP address of sender and the receiver agreeing upon the format and size of the data packet. So both sender and receiver are agree with the format of the packets and the size of the data packet. For assembling the packet again when they arrive at the destination. So your data will be broken down by the TCP and resembled by the TCP. Then what is the IP? Then what is the role of the IP? IP Internet Protocol is responsible for addressing, to give the address of the each and every packet and which route your data will be transferred from the which route decided by the IP address, and routing the data packet from the source computer to destination computer across the network. IP marks each data packet with the address of the sender as well as receiver computer. For example, packet 1, 2, 3, 4, that numbering decided by the Internet Protocol. But as the breaking down of the information in small packet and the resemblance of the packets is the working of the TCP. But IP is responsible for addressing and routing the data packet from the source computer to destination computer. It also marks the data packet with a number that indicate the sequence of the packet. And the sequence of the packet means packet 1, packet 2, packet 3, packet 4. Who decided the name of these packets? IP decided it. So that they are assembled correctly at the receiver computer. So you see here, step 1, the TCP protocol breaks data into packets. So who break the data in small packet? TCP. 2, from the sender side. And after that, router is here. Your data will be moved from the one router to another router, and other then your receiver computer will receive it. So second step is the packet travel from router to router over the internet according to the IP protocol. According to the IP protocol. And step number 3, TCP protocol resemble the packet into the original whole. So here TCP again combine all the packet. So here is the sender and here is the receiver, and between the sender and receiver your data will be travel with the help of internet protocol. And internet protocol give the address of each and every packet in a particular sequence like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and TCP break out your data and resemble your data in last step. So these three are the step of TCP and IP. Your next protocol is SMTP. Very important protocol, beta. The full form, everyone underline the full form of this SMTP. SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. As the name suggests, mail protocol. So it is responsible for sending and receiving the electronic mail, email. So it is responsible for sending and receiving the message from the internet from one computer to the another computer. Email is one of the most valuable service of the internet today. About email, we learn in the next chapter, chapter number 2, email services of internet. So where we learn complete email. So here just you learn SMTP is responsible for the emailing. Most of the internet system use simple mail transfer protocol as a method to transfer mail from one user to another. SMTP is push protocol. SMTP is push protocol and is used to send the mail The client who want to send the mail opens a TCP connection to the SMTP server and then send the mail across the connection. As soon as the SMTP receiver a TCP connection request from a client, it initiate a connection. After successfully establishing a TCP connection, the client process send the mail instantly. The SMTP, the SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, Client and server have two parts. SMTP client and server have two parts. One is your UA, and UA stand for, everyone underline this point, UA stand for user agent. User agent which prepares the message to be sent, and the mail transfer agent, MEA, mail transfer agent, which actually send the message. So who prepare the message to be sent? UA, user agent. And actually who send your message? MTA, and MTA stand for mail transfer agent. So SMTP first prepare your message to be sent, and after that send your message with the help of MTA. So the SMTP is responsible for sending the mail only. It is responsibility of post office protocol, POP protocol, very important full form here, underline this, POP or internet message access protocol, IMAP, POP and IMAP, to retrieve the email from receivers end. So SMTP is responsible for sending and receiving the mail, mail. So POP and IMAP. POP means post office protocol, and IMAP means internet message protocol. So post office protocol are email retrieval protocol. Post office protocol are your email retrieval protocol. And SMTP between two server. SMTP is a protocol that work with the two server. Okay, so IMAP, internet message access protocol, suitable for those person, everyone underline this, IMAP and POP. IMAP and POP. What is the difference between IMAP and POP? Very important question here. What is the difference between IMAP and POP? So everyone note it down. IMAP suitable for those person who need to access email from multiple computer. Email from multiple computers, since IMAP store our email on the email server. Since IMAP store our email on the mail server. And second point is your IMAP safe option for IMAP is safe. IMAP option safe for organization. Safe for organization. Prevent email from getting server disk error or other. Okay, so your IMAP allow concurrency. Allow concurrency. What do you mean by the concurrency? Access same time different location. If your email ID will be open, for example in office also, you can open email in your laptop, and you also open your email in a computer lab. So you have open your email ID in different location, then IMAP protocol is very important protocol and very suitable for this type of work. Okay, so you can see here IMAP protocol is responsible when you need to access your email on multiple computers. Then what is the POP? POP is your post office protocol. So POP download mail to our local personal and removes it from the mail server. So if you have only used your email on your laptop only, then you use the POP protocol. Then POP protocol is responsible for that. So suitable for offline work. POP is suitable for offline, and IMAP is responsible for your online working. So POP download mail to our local personal computer and removes it from the mail server. So this is the main difference between the IMAP and the POP. And here you see one sender computer is here, and then sends mail server, then sends the mail server, and here is the receiver. So mail sender send the mail to the receiver server, and then mail server uh, receiver server send the mail to the receiver computer. So SMTP protocol is responsible for sending and receiving the mail. And the next protocol is like POP. Next protocol is POP3, Post Office Protocol 3, and POP is suitable for online offline working. And when we need to open only one place your email ID, then POP is responsible for and better protocol for that. But POP3 is an application layer internet standard protocol. What? Internet standard protocol used by email clients to retrieve email from a sorry. The POP is an application layer internet standard protocol used by email client to retrieve email from a mail server. POP version 3. POP3 is the version in common use. It provides access via an internet protocol. An internet protocol is responsible for the address network for a user client application to mailbox maintained on a mail server. So your mail will be maintained on mail server. Your all the mail will be stored on the mail server. The protocol support the download and delete operation for messages. POP3 client connect, retrieve all messages, store them on the client computer, and finally delete them from the server. So you see here your SMTP work. Here you send your data, and then your data will be transferred from the here, and your receiver server receive it and send here. So POP send email, and IMAP also send the mail to the. So if you work with the multiple uh, computers, your email is working on the different systems and devices, then you use the IMAP. But if you use the only single device, then you use the POP. The IMAP works similar to POP but allow the accessed message to remain on mail server till the user delete them. But POP delete the mail from the server, retrieve all the messages, store them on the client, and finally delete them from the server. But here IMAP don't delete your data and mail from the server, only user. So you see here, but allows the access message to remain on mail server till the user delete them. So these are the protocol SMTP and POP3. Your next protocol is HTTP. Your next protocol is HTTP. Very important protocol. Hypertext transfer protocol. Hypertext transfer protocol. And you see beta, when you write down any website name like www.google.com, so automatic HTTP will prefix front of the website name, but not compulsory. Not compulsory. Every site don't start with the HTTP. Mostly sites start from the HTTP. HTTP is the set of rules for transferring file, and your file different way, your text file, your image file, your sound, audio, video, multimedia files. HTTP is responsible for sending your mail, sound, audio, video, sorry, not mail, your text files, graphic images, sound, audio, video, multimedia files from one computer to another computer on the worldwide. As soon as a user opens her web browser, the user is indirectly making use of HTTP. And HTTP is an application protocol. HTTP is an application protocol that runs on the top of the TCP IP of protocol, shoot of protocol. Any web server machine contains, in addition to the web page files, it can serve an HTTP daemon, a program that is designed to wait for HTTP requests and handle them when they arrive. So every time when you send your data will be transferred with the help of TCP IP protocol, and HTTP is mainly rules for transferring and standard for transferring your text, audio, video, sound, multimedia files. Uh, any web server machine contain, in addition of the web pages, it can serve an HTTP domain, a program that is designed to wait for HTTP requests and handle them when they arrive. Your web browser is an HTTP client. Your web browser like Internet Explorer, Google Chrome is your HTTP client sending request to the server machine. Every time we send the request to the server machine, when the browser user enter files request by either opening a web page, by typing in a URL, uniform resource locator, or clicking on a hyperlink when you write any address on the URL or you click on any hyperlink, the browser build an HTTP request and send it to the IP address indicated by the URL. The HTTP domain in the destination server machine which receive the request and send back the request file or file associated with the request. So every time HTTP client web server send the message or request to the HTTP request message, and then HTTP message complete the request of this and again send the message to the HTTP client, and with the help of HTTP over TCP IP. And here is the client, HTTP client, and HTTP request message, and then HTTP server complete this request, and then HTTP response message will be sent back to the HTTP client web browser. Okay, so now next protocol is HTTPS. Now this is the latest HTTPS protocol. This only S is included here, and this S means security. So now every web browser use HTTPS for security purpose, and HTTP is not so much secure. So it encrypted your data. So you can say it security is very important here. So is a variant of the standard web transfer protocol HTTP that adds a layer of security. In HTTPS, one more layer will be included in HTTPS on the data in transmit through a secure connection. Data in transmit through a secure connection. HTTP enables encrypted communication. What do you mean by the encrypted? For example, you write down the password 1234. Your password 1234 will be converted in star star star. So this is your encrypted. So for security purpose we use the encrypted your data. So HTTPS enables encrypted communication and secure connection between a remote user and the primary web server. HTTP is PS is primarily designed to provide enhanced security layer over the unsecured HTTP protocol. So HTTPS is the secured protocol and HTTP is not the secured protocol. In HTTPS, you use the encrypted communication but enable the encrypted communication. And HTTP protocol For sensible data, the transactions such as billing detail, credit card transactions, and user login, etc., HTTPS encrypts every data packet in transition to avoid intermediary hackers and attacker to extract the content of the data even if the connection is compromised. So HTTPS is more secure than the HTTP. HTTPS is more secure than the HTTP. So HTTP is configured and supported by default. HTTPS is configured and supported by default in the most web browser and intimates a secure connection automatically. In every latest web browser, your HTTPS is by default a secure connection automatically if the accessed web server requests the secure connection. So you see here HTTP send the data or send the file or information to the web server and web server again send the data here, but directly we send the data. For example, username 12345 and then password Rohit and the credit card same name, same everything. But in HTTP, your data will be sent in the form of security, encrypted form. So you direct, not your direct name, username, and direct ID card or your PAN card, not directly input in your web internet. It convert your number in a secret number, and then your data will be sent to the web server, and again web server send your data to back to the HTTPS. So these all are the protocol for the internet: TCP/IP protocol, HTTP protocol, POP protocol, POP3 protocol, IMAP protocol, HTTPS protocol. So thank you so much for watching this video. In next video, we meet with the remote login.